Hello everyone. Today we are going to understand the general theory of development of landform by W. M. Davis. So W. M. Davis, during his tenure in the Harvard University as a professor, he have done many research on the geomorphological patterns or the geomorphological processes going on the surface of the earth. One of his research and one of his theory is the general theory of the development of landform. He was the first to propound this type of concept regarding the development of a landform. There are many people who understand that the concept of landform or the concept of the Davis is related to the cycle of erosion or a normal cycle of erosion or the geographical cycle. But Davis theory is not the cycle of erosion or geographical cycle of erosion or the normal cycle of erosion. Rather, it was a process or it was a method by which theory of development of landform could be understood. मतलब कि डेविस ने जो साइकिल ऑफ इरोजन, जोग्राफिकल साइकिल या नॉर्मल साइकिल ऑफ इरोजन के बारे में जो कुछ भी रिसर्च किया और उसको प्रकाशित किया, उसका एक ही उद्देश्य था कि थियोरी ऑफ लैंडफॉर्म डेवलपमेंट को समझा जा सके। तो इस क्रम में उन्होंने 1889 में इन दिस सीरीज इन 1889 he published an article entitled Rivers and Valleys of Pennsylvania. In this article he talked about the cyclic concept of progressive development of an erosional stream valleys. Means he talks about the cyclic concept of a river, or the cyclic life of a river. And here by the cyclic concept he means the three stages of the river development, like the youth stage, mature stage, and the older stage. Again, in 1899, he published another article entitled Geographical Cycle. And in this geographical cycle article, he talked about the various stages of landform development. So, in 1899, for the first time, he talked about the stages of landform development in his article entitled Geographical Cycle. So, what Davis tried to say by all these things was that there are sequential changes. Here we have sequential changes in landform through time in any given region. So Davis model was also a time dependent model. The objective of the Davis model or the objective of the theory of development by Davis was to present a systematic description of a landform of a region, and second was to genetically classify landform on the basis of evolution. So now we have to understand by time what Davis means. Davis and another geomorphologist Pink have also given a theory of evolution of landform, but his model was not time dependent but time independent. But Davis model was time dependent or the time decay model. Time decay. But by this model, what Davis tries to say, Davis इस time decay model के द्वारा क्या समझाना चाहते हैं वो इस डायग्राम में हम देख सकते हैं। डेविस का ये मानना था कि डेविस का ये अवधारणा था कि जैसे जैसे समय बढ़ते जाता है, as the time progresses, the altitude of a structure or the altitude of a landform decreases. So what is geographical cycle? Now we can understand what is geographical cycle. So geographical cycle is a time during which an uplifted landmass, and when the upliftment takes place at the earlier stage, in the youth stage, upliftment as well as the rate of erosion is very high, because the channel gradient is high and the velocity of the river is also high. So geographical cycle is a time during which an uplifted land mass goes through series of transformation by different erosional activities, and the erosional activities took by Davis was done by the agents of erosion is the river. So Davis also propounded the riverine cycle of erosion or the fluvial cycle of erosion. So geographical cycle is a time during which uplifted land mass goes into transformation to develop a featureless plain known as peneplain. Here peneplain is developed at the end stage. So one by one we will try to understand what happens in all these stages. So in the youth stage we can see that there is uplifted land mass. And Davis also said that in his time decay model, Davis also says that until and unless upliftment stops, मतलब कि जब तक कि upliftment का कार्य पूरा नहीं हो जाता है तब तक इरोजनल एक्टिविटी स्टार्ट नहीं होता है। इस लाइन के द्वारा हम ये देख सकते हैं कि सी बिंदु पर अपलिफ्टमेंट का प्रोसेस स्टॉप हो रहा है और यहीं से अपवर्तन का कार्य प्रारंभ हो रहा है। तो इन यूथ स्टेज अपलिफ्टमेंट टेक प्लेस as the time progresses and the erosional activity start in the youth stage. There is high velocity in the river, and the channel of the valley is also very steep. So there is the development of canyons, gorges due to the down cutting of the river. There is development of waterfalls, rapids, etc. As the time progresses and when the landfall moves to the mature stage, then there is decrease in the velocity of river and there is decrease in the channel gradient, and so the vertical down cutting of the valleys stops and the lateral widening of the river increases. In this stage, the river cuts the channel into the horizontal fashion by its sides. Side cutting takes place in this stage. So in the mature stage, river that carries load from the youth stage, in mature stage it tries to deposit on its bank. मतलब कि mature stage में जो कुछ भी रिवर के डाउन कटिंग के वजह से लोड मौजूद था रिवर के चैनल में, उसको डिपॉजिट करने का प्रक्रिया प्रारंभ कर देती है रिवर, क्योंकि उसका वेलोसिटी भी कम हो जाता है और उसका एंगल ऑफ स्लोप भी कम हो जाता है। तो इसके वजह से रिवर स्लगिश हो जाती है और स्लगिश होने के बाद जब उसमें प्रवाह की उसकी गति तीव्र नहीं हो पाती है तो मिएंडरिंग पैटर्न में रिवर का फ्लो होने लगता है। ये देखिए यहाँ पर मिएंडरिंग पैटर्न है, तो मिएंडरिंग पैटर्न इसी टाइप से रिवर फ्लो करने लगती है। तो ये आम अवधारणा है बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स में कि समतल मैदानी भागों में ही मिएंडरिंग का कार्य होता है, परंतु उनकी ये अवधारणा शुरुआती क्लासों में ज्योग्राफी सीखने की अर्लियर स्टेज में बनी रहती है, लेकिन जैसे जैसे वो अगले स्टेज में जाते हैं उनकी अवधारणा दूर हो जाती है, क्योंकि मिएंडर का कार्य मुख्यतः the meandering process is mainly dependent on the two factors. One is hydrologic factor and second is topographic factor. So by hydrologic factor we can say that the hydrologic action of the river, and by topographic factor we can say that meandering is developed due to the presence of or due to the dominance of topographical factors such as faults, cracks, lineaments, etc. The most prominent example for the meandering river developed by the topographic factor is the Yangtze River. And there are many other examples all around the world, but Yangtze is the most prominent example for meandering of a river in the due to the topographic features. Now we move to the old stage. In the old stage, there is again the channel gradient decreases, and channel gradients now become minimal, and the rate of velocity and the velocity of the river is also decreases. So very small hills and residual hills develops in this area, and the residual hills are the leftover hills or where the erosional activities could not complete, and the erosional activities is just minor, or the minimal erosional activities could happen in the stage. So this type of convexo-concave plain developed in the old stage of the development of landform is known as Monadnocks. And why this name is given Monadnocks? Because Monadnocks is an area where these type of convexo-concave plain are located in large numbers. So this type of features are known as Monadnocks. So now by this model we have now understood that Davis model was a time dependent model, and as the landform goes to the development in the various stages through a series of sequential development, and by this whole theory we can also understand the concept of cycle of erosion, and what is geographical cycle and what is normal cycle of erosion. Why the erosion activities take in this takes in this type of landform development propounded by Davis is known as normal cycle of erosion, because this type of erosional activity is present everywhere on the earth, and this is the most prominent type of erosional activities take place on the earth. So there are many pros and cons regarding this concept of Davis, but Davis theory is widely accepted because it was the first attempt to develop a general idea about the landform development, and second, his theory was very simple, and it is not complicated, and it could be understood by everyone. He had underestimated some factors, like he said that until and unless upliftment stops, erosion could not टेक प्लेस. मतलब कि जब तक अपलिफ्टमेंट का कार्य चलते रहता है इरोजन नहीं शुरू हो सकता है. ये उनकी एक थ्योरी बहुत ही विवादास्पद रही है. ये कथन उनका विवादास्पद रहा है क्योंकि कोई भी इरोजनल एक्टिविटीज इंतजार नहीं करेगा कि कोई लैंडफॉर्म डेवलप हो, वो एक साथ ही चलते रहता है. ऐसा और भी साइंटिस्ट का और भी जियोमॉर्फोलॉजिस्ट का मानना था, और उनके इसी कथन को लेके बहुत ही मतभेद हुए पूरी दुनिया में. लेकिन इनका जो थियोरी है ये वाइडली एक्सेप्टेड है, और ये पहला थियोरी था, और ये बहुत ही सिंपल था, इसलिए पूरी तरह से एक्सेप्ट किया गया. और दूसरा बात यह भी है कि जो इनके क्रिटिक थे, जो पेंक महोदय थे, उनके क्रिटिक थे, उनका थियोरी बहुत ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड था, और उनका अनटाइमली डेथ के वजह से और कॉम्प्लिकेटेड जर्मन भाषा में लिखे होने की वजह से उनके थियोरी को कोई समझ नहीं पाया. तो डेविस के थ्योरी को ही सर्वमान्य मान्यता प्राप्त है अभी तक. थैंक यू.